Alrighty, so yeah, like I was saying before about Anthony, like I said, him and I have always had like this weird relationship, off and on. Never really dated back in the day. We were trying to date. Remember when he sent me that photo? God damn. Whew, that I think was my first experience of having a crush on a Hispanic man at that point. Then eventually, I've gone to other Hispanic men that I've had crushes on. Some a little bit more famous than others. But I freely admitted to the other guy that, yeah, I had a crush on him. He's known about it. And it's just a whole thing that we do what we do. He and I are just friends at this point. But we communicate, we talk mostly every day. I check on him to see how he's doing. He checks on me to see how I'm doing. He already knows about my suicide attempt. I told you about that in the video, I think, with Joe. How I met Joe. In the video that I posted way before this. Yeah. So, and actually it's titled Joe. Look for the video titled Joe. That is the video. And if his child's mother sees this, yeah, you need to watch that video especially. You will see what happened in our relationship, why at this point in time we're no longer together. But I can also go into more detail too. He left me for another woman the day we had court. Told me he broke up with me a week prior to, and every time he went to talk about it with me, I changed the subject. Mind you, we slept in the back of my car together. We had sex that Saturday, that Sunday, and that Monday. I also discovered the blonde hair in his vehicle that Monday. Also went and looked at apartments, begged him for information I needed to fill out applications for apartments in Sycamore, no less, for us. All of a sudden, he quit talking to me. Like, I'm texting him, wondering why I never got any response back from him. Never thought twice. Called him, asked him what Walmart I was picking him up at. All that stuff. I get to court, meth head sitting right next to him. I go and I sit next to him. And I have no idea. I couldn't explain anything at that point in time. Didn't know what was going on. And I called him up. I said, hey, did you still want me to pick you up? He goes, no, I got somebody else to drive the car just in case. Alrighty, no problem. Perfect. I said, I'll be there in 20 minutes. See you in court. He'd already arrived ahead of me. I changed out the sticker on his car for him that he requested. Sent a photo, said, change out your sticker. Thank you. That was it. Called him that day. Never responded. Never called me back. Till finally, I called him and said, what the fuck is going on? I said, you need to explain something to me right now. I broke up with you on Saturday. I said, the fuck you did? I said, when did you break up with me on Saturday? He goes, well, every time I tried to talk to you on Saturday, you didn't want to hear it. I said, you never tried to talk to me on Saturday whatsoever. I said, so when did we break up officially? That was the question I had for him at that point. Because I don't think I actually put on there. I don't think I explained how we broke up. But yeah. So apparently that's how we broke up. Didn't even know. And he's like, I'm surprised you didn't question me about the blonde hair. He goes, I slept with her on Saturday. And I said, and you slept with me on Saturday. I said, guarantee you probably slept with her on Sunday. And then I realized she had an apartment that he can go to and live in. So, truth be told, I don't think he's actually living in West Chicago or in Chicago at all. He ain't that fucking dumb. He's living with her again. I already know he is, and I know he's been living with her for a while because lo and behold, the last court appearance, guess who was fucking there? And I made comments toward her to state, what happened to me is going to happen to you. He isn't that fucking dumb. Then again, he ain't that oh, it's a white terrain. Beautiful. Fuck my life with the terrains. Anyway. He's not that intelligent. He's not that smart. He's a fucking felon. He will fucking do whatever the fuck he pleases. And then come to find out he's gay in prison. And made fun of my bisexual ex-husband. The word gay for pay comes to mind, too. Kind of wonder how many videos he shot of himself in prison, screwing other men. Stuff we figure out. That looks just like his terrain. Is it SLE? It's an SLE. It's not even SLT. This was an SLT. But like I said, he's gay. He got very intimidated by my friends. He got intimidated by every guy I dated prior to him. I have no idea why. But yeah, he got intimidated by everybody. Made no sense. Nobody was there to take me. He was just he was not the person that should be dating women. That's an SLE. I had an SLE. That was in silver. Mine also had cloth seating. His had leather. His actually has leather. Got a huge dent in it too. Should question how that happened, because that wasn't there prior to me going down to Texas. Because I knew about the front bumper. I want to know what happened to the corner panel on the passenger side, the rear corner panel. That looks like somebody hit him. Or he hit somebody and ran off. Which means he's probably already got a hit and run on his record. On top of red light cameras. But yeah, like I was saying with him, he is very emasculated when other men come around his women. He, quote unquote, is very protective of his women. Bullcrap. If you were protective of me, you wouldn't have did what you did to me. You would never have put your hands on me ever in your life. He's like, well, I'll never do that again. I'll promise you. When he got out of prison, I'll promise I'm never going to put my hands on you again, but grab my phone. And sat there and said, why were you at a hotel for an hour? Who did you screw in an hour? First off, if I'm at a hotel for an hour, it's going to be 4 hours, and it's going to be more than one time that we're going to do that. So, haha, joke's on you, sir. 2, I went to the hotel, tried to check in, but I didn't have all the cash. I had to, tap my card and everything, and I only had a certain amount on me. And they wouldn't allow it because they also needed, a deposit for the night, too. And it's just, it was ridiculous. So I didn't even stay at that hotel that night. So, but that's all in the past now. So anyway, like I said, Joe did eventually block Anthony on my phone and everything. Then one day he goes, you have 383 friends on your Facebook page. You had 382 an hour ago. What the hell are you talking about? I don't pay attention. Who did you add? The hell if I know. Who did you unblock? The fuck if I unblocked anybody? He always consistently blocked his child's mother on my Facebook page, which was bold to me. So, where Like, he blocked my male friends. He wouldn't allow me to talk to any of them. Very controlling, very, very, very controlling. Narcissistic is the word I want to use. But yeah, so there's where we stand with him and Anthony. And yes, I did re-add Anthony back onto my Facebook page, but like I said, that was due to the fact I've known the guy since I was 16 years old. I have the right to add him onto my page whenever I want to. My page, not his. And I told him, I said, he's like, I want your phone. He goes, and I want to have access to your Facebook page at all times. I said, motherfucker, that's my Facebook page. You will not have access to that shit. I told him no. I said, if you can't trust me enough to let me have my own Facebook page and control. I said, I have a lot of Democratic stuff on my Facebook page. He was a Republican, and he, was going off because I wanted to support Planned Parenthood and all this shit. And he was pissed off that I wanted to do that. And I told him no.